and welcome to the eCommerce podcast. My name is Norbert, and today I am talking to Rytis from OmniZen, a really great e-commerce tool for email marketing, a competitor to Klaviyo. It's actually, I just was stunning on the website, 4,400 plus reviews on different channels. A nearly 5-star rating on Shopify. So this is, wow, this is actually blasting me away. Welcome, Rytis.
Yeah, hey Norbert, thanks for inviting. Really a great pleasure to be at your
Yeah,
show.
absolutely. Thanks so much for being here. Rytis, tell me a bit about yourself. Why did you build up this app?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So actually, the story started almost 10 years ago as I launched a digital marketing agency, and for quite many years we were serving our customers and doing all the things like development, design, including marketing for them. And we saw that for those who do sell online, there is specific needs as they like customer retention is so crucial for their business, as usually the first transaction is ROI negative. They usually lose money and they have to retain customers. Only second or third purchase is really when your customer becomes profitable for you. It's a first thing. And second thing, that those kind of businesses, they are like purely online and have unique bunch of data. They are able to track entire customer journey online. We don't lose the contact with a customer, and there are a lot of signals to which you can listen coming from your customers, and that you can automate your marketing and make it more relevant to your customers and cost saving for yourself. So that's how we launched the product 6 years ago. And and we kind of started mainly on TikTok and Shopify. Now we are serving much more platforms: Shopify, Shopify Plus, BigCommerce, Magento, WooCommerce. So we have integrations with all of those platforms, and
Wow.
open API, which any online store can integrate us and use us for their retention marketing. And email plus SMS plus web push notifications and Facebook Messenger. We have those different channels in one single tool.
Oh, that's great. And why e-commerce? Why did you go towards e-commerce?
Yeah, so that was kind of like, being honest, the initial was that we just saw that those kind of businesses, they have unique data opportunities which could be utilized to make marketing better. It was kind of the beginning, but then I really fell in love with an industry, as it's like so fast growing, it's so fascinating. The market is so dynamic, and that's what I kind of personally love, to really be in the market, which is kind of really going through the fundamental disruption. That's one of the things which we strongly believe here at Omnison, that commerce is going through the fundamental disruption, and this COVID situation, which is currently still happening globally, so really accelerated that a lot. There will be no retail, brick and mortar, traditional retail, and e-commerce boundaries. Those boundaries are melting. Like 5 years ago, there were kind of very clear distinction that there are two different kind of businesses. They're not unified, etc. But yeah, that's what we believe, that e-commerce or commerce in general going to be omnichannel. That us as customers will be able to buy anywhere we want at any time we want. It's going to be like whatever marketplaces, brick and mortar, showrooms, social, email, text message, whatever. I mean, so any channel, and it should be at our convenience as customers, where we want to buy and how we want to really interact with brands.
Well, and why do I need a tool like OmniZen? Why do I need that as a shop owner?
Yeah, so as I said already, so like data shows that retention marketing is crucially important. Usually the first transaction is really, you lose money on that, because like acquisition is so expensive nowadays, like because mainly there is a monopoly of like Facebook and Google, like Pinterest a bit, but yeah, even like the same Instagram is being owned by Facebook, etc. So those two giants, for whom you have to pay to acquire customers, and it's really expensive. So you have to think like in terms of lifetime value, customer lifetime value, and then you think in those terms, the retention is like crucially important. You have to invite your customers to get back to your online store and to buy for a second, third, and 203rd times. So like tools like Omnison will really help to communicate with your existing customer base, sending them emails, sending them text messages, web push notifications, and using Facebook Messenger to communicate with those customers. So that's the key reason, that really communicating with your existing customer base is very, very important. And like what we see currently, again, like in this COVID crisis situation, as we are recording when it's kind of in Europe, it's already a relief, but in the US situation is still very, very bad. So what do we see? That customers are buying more from the stores which they have already bought in the past. So they are taking less risk, and they're not buying from the stores or brands they don't know. So again, it's a very good proof that, especially during the crisis situations, customers are willing to buy from the same stores and brands they already know. Therefore, retention and communication with those customers is crucially important.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really, really definitely the case. What strategies can I use as a store owner, or do you have any specific cool metrics for us that you can share? How the communication really helps to increase the revenue?
Yeah, so absolutely. So first thing, which I would say, like a strategy and like on the fundamental level. So still, in many cases, as marketers, we do think in terms of like campaigns. But what's very important is really to start thinking more in terms of customer life cycle and lifetime value. And it leads to really using more data and more signals, listening to the signals your customers are sending you, and you don't need to listen with your ear. There are tools like Omnison to help you with that, as those signals are being collected due to the integration with e-commerce platform, or like snippets on your front end, store's front end, or like past behavior when the customer has purchased, what was the average order value, when was the last time, what is like pattern of purchasing, etc. So first, like really listening to those signals, and then automating marketing. So this is when you start thinking not about what I want to send, what I want to tell to our customers, but what actually they are willing to hear from me. So this is a huge definition, and this is very important. And this is what is much more effective, because you set up as many as you can automation. So that's again an advice I would give to anyone who's selling online. What do we see? Like usually, like smaller businesses, they usually like use one or two automations. Like the most popular are abandoned cart reminders. It's very effective. It's great. You should be using that. Welcome series, which is important as well. But there are much more which you can automate. So let's say like browsing abandonment. Even if Norbert did not put anything in the basket, but we can identify that Norbert browsed those specific products in this specific category, let's start communicating automatically about those products. One example. Another example, order follow-up or post-purchase emails. It's a very great opportunity to upsell. If Norbert bought a phone, let's say you're selling phones, and you should immediately send an upsell email with a phone case or some accessories, etc. And with a promise, like if you order in 24 hours, 12 hours, we will add into the same parcel, no additional cost for delivery, etc. So there are, and just a couple of examples I have mentioned, there are much more which you can use. And yeah, so my advice would be really automate more, as there's nothing better than automated marketing, because for you as a store owner or marketer, you just sleep, and automation
does
tools,
the marketing for you. That's great.
Automation tools does the job. So
and Rytis, tell me one thing. So you mentioned already cart abandoned emails. Those are really very common already. Do you have any numbers in mind how this can really increase the purchase, Jens?
Yeah, so we see it really depends on the category, on the product you're selling. It varies, but we see that those emails are as effective as, sometimes we see up to 20 20% of the cards are being recovered.
That's huge. That's huge,
Yeah. So
actually. So,
yeah, that's huge. So that's money which is left on the table, I would say. And what else is kind of like very effective? Again, what I mentioned, like those upsells, etc. So you can send like emails, but you can send text messages as well. So when you need kind of spontaneous behavior, or if you have some like flash sale, which you usually have a really good offer, make it a limited time offer. We have one customer which is selling clothes, and like very, very unique business model, like Dixon Flannel. So what, instead of just always having the collection, they just, sell the collection so fast. They introduce, okay, we will have new collection coming next Monday. It will be available only for 2 days on our website. I mean, it's kind of
and then they
unique.
really stop it. They really stop it.
Yeah, they
If
really
it's
stop
sold
it.
or not. Yeah.
Yeah, they really, and usually what happens, they usually sell it.
Yeah, well, this is the limitation, the fear of missing out. It's
Exactly.
really a good strategy, but you need to be straight on point. So if you say it's only available for 2 days, you need to be available for just 2 days, and then if you sold it or not, put it away, because the next time the users know about it and they will
Yeah.
not purchase. So it's really also some kind of being
Honest. Yeah,
to
exactly.
this is always the best strategy at all, but
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's like sometimes people ask me, because like any retention marketing is like email marketing, SMS marketing, push notifications marketing. So it starts with collecting the subscribers list, which is like, I would say it's half, if no more, of your success is really having a decent, good quality list of the people to whom you communicate. So it's your kind of past customers, those who are just interested but have never purchased, etc. You have to clean this list, you have to collect it. So therefore, our customers or people in the market kind of quite often asks me, so how to collect those emails, what to say in order for people to leave his or her like phone number, email address to me. So my kind of golden rule here is just be honest and transparent. So exactly what we talk now. So if you promise that I'm going to send you only like the best deals, do it. I mean, don't start sending like daily emails. If you promise that I'm a daily deal portal and I'm gonna send you 2 emails per day, or 2 text messages per day, do it. That's okay. But that's very important. From the very, very beginning of your relationship with your customer, you have to deliver what you promise. So yeah, I completely agree to what you just said. I mean, flash and fear of missing out, flash campaigns and fear of missing out is great tactics, but you have to be transparent and honest, and don't try to trick your customers with that, because they are not stupid. So
Absolutely, they are. Now you are also from Europe, so from Slovenia. We have very strict rules here in the European Union. How can I get those emails and those phone numbers from the clients without breaking the rules?
yeah, so I would say those rules, then they came into power with GDPR, and it seemed to be kind of like super strict, which is strict, but I mean, nowadays I don't think that it's how to say, too much of a bureaucracy or something like this, because if you really have a permission to communicate with a customer, so there will be no issue. So basically you have to ask to exchange personal like data, which in this case phone number or email, into something. So usually what works the best is pop-ups, still the most effective. Incentives, they work. Just my advice would be, the incentive should be somehow related to your product and your business. If you're selling shoes and you make a game where then your subscribers can win an iPad, it has nothing in common with a product you are selling, and therefore you're going to collect so many emails which are not relevant to you. They just left the email in order to win iPad, but not shoes.
It's
Not a
like
better
those.
pair of shoes.
It's in general those sweepstakes that we see on Facebook often, where a company that sells anything, it's always an iPad or an
Yeah,
iPhone, and it simply does not matter. But
exactly.
if you choose a strategy, would be to give a coupon code for the first purchase if they sign up for the newsletter, or
or
it has
free delivery.
lifetime shoes delivery for
Yeah. For $1,
for $1. Yeah, absolutely. So why not?
Yes. Yeah, why
That's
not? Yeah,
cool.
but that absolutely. Or free samples. If it again depends on the product. If you selling shoes or like clothing, probably you cannot send samples. But if you're selling cosmetics, so that's tactics which works really well. I mean, we're gonna send you pre-sample, just subscribe here, etc. So yeah, so basically, but again, it has to be related to whatever you are selling, to your product, to the core of your business message. So.
We often see this especially for digital marketing products. So when you're a coach, or when you are having any strategy in marketing or in e-commerce or what else, we often see those ads where people just opt in with a white paper or with some free download, and then the process continues typically. So this is a typical niche. Do you have customers in that niche as well, or is it more the e-commerce related?
Yeah, we are kind of e-commerce, so e-commerce only tool. So we have kind of some other kind of customers, but the tool Omnison is being built for e-commerce. So there are a lot of pre-built like use cases. We think over all the use cases which really help those online retailers to sell more, to run their marketing. There are pre-built like default setups of like automations and then analytics based on e-commerce needs, where the sales is the number one metric, and like opens and clicks are secondary metrics. Of course, we do report that, but we believe that the primary metrics is definitely conversion and sales. We are focusing on this, and this is, we believe, is one of our strengths, and like any product, whatever you choose for your stack, once running online store. So I would suggest choosing the e-commerce specific tools for that.
Yeah. Well, what I really like is that you have some, as you said, some kind of recipes that I can use, because I, as a store owner, I don't have the ideas of what I could do. I know that that I get, of course, from Amazon, frequent emails about what I could purchase. So it's a good way to learn what I could do, but I'm missing the ideas. So when I am logging to your tool, you have some catalog of possible things that I could do, and I just launch it, use some templates.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's one of kind of benefits we're offering, and we believe it's very important. Yeah, so it's within the platform. Yeah, so as you call it, recipes or like pre-built templates, where you can just with a single click start running some basic campaigns, and from there you can improve it. So it's just very easy to start, and then it's really powerful and robust to grow. As we started our business serving those like micro to small businesses, mainly like mom and pop stores, and then one man shows, but yeah, now we are serving all the way up to like 20 million GMV. This is our sweet spot. So like pretty kind of like mid-sized business. We're not going after enterprise. So therefore the user interface is really straightforward, is really easy to use, and although we are kind of a bit going up market, but one of our kind of goals, which hopefully we still keep this, really to have a really flat learning curve. It is very easy to start using, and again, if you want more robust capabilities, they are under the hood in advanced settings, etc.
How did you get so many reviews? Is this part of your email strategy to send out a review reminder or something like this? How do you use it yourself?
Email within the platform. So basically, it's just ask.
Ask.
Yeah, and then review. Yeah, ask. Just basically ask, and it's again reviews. Reviews are important for our business, and reviews are very important for our customers, for those who do sell online. Yeah, exactly. So social trust and social like advocacy is a huge thing for anyone who sells online. So basically the strategy is, yes, different channels, find the occasion where is the best to ask for review. And of course, but primarily your customers have to be happy with the service or product you're providing. So if you are selling online, so for sure, be sure, ask your customers initially, are they happy about the product, quality, delivery time, service they got, etc. If they are in general happy, ask them to leave a public review online. Yeah, and
Can
people
you incentivize
it,
those reviews? Can you incentivize them so that the people are more likely doing the review, or is this not a good way, or maybe even prohibited on some platforms?
So like in our case, it's prohibited on Shopify. So
Yeah.
those like 4,000 plus like reviews we collected without any incentivization. But if you are selling online on your own, so for sure, I mean, you can give you can incentivize, because usually it's not forbidden if you are using any kind of reviews tool, etc. So just ask to leave the review, and for everyone who leaves a review, just give something. But of course, you cannot. The bad practice would be saying and stating, okay, we're gonna give you something if you leave us a 5-star review. So I mean,
it's again against the always in place rule, to be honest. So
yeah, exactly. But if you're selling online, so definitely you can incentivize. But what works for us and what I would recommend, so the best case is really take care about your customers. Then NPS is very good methodology. Any other of evaluation post-purchase. So again, and you can use automation, which is not purely marketing, but this is very important for you. So post-purchase, order follow-up, emails, text messages, you know that it has been delivered 3 days ago. It should be already in the hands of the customers. Well, your product, which you sell, ask them, are they happy? Are they satisfied? If they are happy, ask them to leave a review. If they are not happy, forward them to your customer support agents, and reach out to them proactively, and then you're going to convert your unhappy customer into a happy one. So, this is marketing as well. This is the communication with your existing customers.
So now I am not having a Shopify store, Magento store, WooCommerce, or BigCommerce. How can I use Omnisend?
Yeah, so we have open API, so we can like any store can be connected to Omnisend and like integrated equally as its integration on one of those platforms. Just on one of those platforms, it's just pre-baked. It's just plug and play. We do synchronize all the data. We just install our plugin. But yeah, I mean, if you have developers, if you have, and I even know that there are some third-party plugins like for PrestaShop, for Xcart, I believe. So third-party plugins who integrate Omnison to those platforms. So initially, I would search in your platforms like App Store, Add-on Store, how it's called. And highly likely you're going to find some way to integrate already, but it might not like work 100% accurate, and you might need to tweak it a bit sometimes.
Yeah.
We kind of not don't guarantee for those third-party plugins.
Absolutely. So what we can do as well is, of course, you can of course use SyncSpotter if you want to send the data. It's an open API, so we can of course get the data from your store to Omnisend, just in case. You always can reach out to our team. Yeah. So my last question for today, and typically it's the last question. Who has taught you the most about e-commerce in your career?
Sorry, what was the question?
Who has taught you the most about e-commerce in your career? Where did you learn the most about e-commerce?
My customers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fully agree to that. You hear different things, but yeah, customer is great. You learn a lot. Absolutely.
Absolutely, because what I'm really thankful for the industry and the position I am in is really we can learn not from what someone is saying, but actually how are they behaving. So I mean, so there are two ways. One, I have ability in general. We as an organization have ability to talk to our customers, but we can analyze their data and their real behavior. So sometimes they say something and they do different, as you know. just because.
5 data points for that. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, thank you so much for your time. It was really amazing to have a completely different thing to talk about today. I learned a lot again, and I hope the listeners too could take out a few very important things. So automation matters. It doesn't matter if it's the ops part or the marketing part of an e-commerce store. Automation matters. Getting the right data into the software, getting the right data points, analyze the right thing, listen to the customers, and use the right mechanisms and the right time to reach out. This is a rule, and it helps you a lot to increase your revenue for e-commerce store. So I hope you liked this episode. Thank you, Rytis, so much for your time, and go on like this. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks for inviting. Bye.